minister to how you were feeling. What things were you maybe afraid of? Things that you may have been thinking that, images that you had in your mind about going to the next level, what prevented you from making a decision sooner? What type of things things or challenges that were going on that were preventing you from saying, you know what, why did I do this 5 years ago? Why did I do this 2 years, 7, 8 years ago? That it took 10 years for you to make that decision and to make that commitment.
Praise the Lord. Okay, to be honest, that I wasn't sure with myself that I wanted to be married at the time. And also, I was still young. Okay, and I seen marriages fall by being young. And also, I wanted to make sure that this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to make sure that I wanted to get all my plan out and ripping and running the street and doing the things of the world, even though I was going to church on Sundays. But I wanted to make sure that I was not going to my marriage and then all of a sudden that I want to commit adultery, cheating on my wife then. So I wanted to make sure that I get all this out of me. This is what I wanted to do because I wanted to make sure that I be fully committed to her. That this is my wife and I'm not going to do anything because I had representation in my family of my mother and father. They've been together for a long period of time, over 50 years themselves. So I wanted to make sure that this is what I was going to do, and I was done doing the things of the world, and I wanted to be totally committed to her.
Pastor Debbie, can you kind of even address that area, just as I addressed with Sister Allison, what things were you expecting? What was your expectation?
Well, my expectation was, I was just comfortable where I worked, because I came from a house where my mom was married, and he was treating me the same way that I wanted to be treated. He loved me, and I knew he loved me. And I was comfortable where I was. And we were playing marriage. I wasn't in church, so I didn't know those things. I didn't come from a marriage background. So even though he came from a marriage background, I saw those things, but we were living those things in false. And one day it just hit me, and it might sound kind of strange, but we were ready to buy a house. And my background, we raised by a woman, they always tell you, don't let your right hand know what your left hand is doing. So you miss out on a lot of things. So we were ready to buy a house, and my mind said, okay, I gotta marry this dude now, because if I don't, someone will come in and take all of this. All of these things that I put into this. And like I said, I have children. He's not the father. So it was a lot of different things that were going through my mind. Is he gonna be right for my kids? I'm just cool where I am, because he came in, he was a father, he took care of everything, and he was a nice guy. So hey, wow. So marriage, it didn't even come to my mind until it was time to buy a house. So that kind of triggered, and we did it. We got married, we had a little party, got married, and here we are.